We want to keep the place that we have there really neat. This is a great environment, and it's our desire to keep it neat. Mass Mutual Center is one of the reasons we go there, because they know how to do events. However, we're going to create a deluge of activity in an aggressive way, which means that things may get dropped on the floor, may get messy. Let's not make it look like Filing's basement. Let's just pick it up. If you see it and you're walking along, just pick it up. Let's try to keep it as neat as possible. Next, when I don't know how to handle something, you want to get comfortable asking for help. Now, again, in a minute, I'm going to let Chris tell you some ways that you can ask for help, but I want to give you one particular way that if you find, I need to talk to somebody right now, and I need some help right this second, what can I do? Well, in the food area, which is where you'd find any good Baptist pastor, this is where I'll be spending my day. Now, in the food area, there'll be music, it'll be loud, it'll be non-personal, let's say, for lack of a better word, but it'll be fun. But if I see you in that food area walking around with someone and you look a little confused and you're concerned, just raise your hand. Somebody says something to me that I just don't know how to deal with, or maybe I'm feeling uncomfortable, I'm not sure what to do. As I'm talking to my friend, I would say, you know what, I'm not sure how to help you, but let me just try to get some help. And when we see your hand raised out in that food area, what we're going to do is very casually send someone over. I may do it, by the way, from the microphone I'll be wearing, where I say, hey, I just wonder if there's any free volunteers. I've got somebody over there that's got their hand up and they need help. Everyone in that room will know that if you're in that room and your hand goes up, you need some assistance. There are some other awesome ways that assistance is available, and you'll hear about those in just a moment. Additionally, we want to make sure that you're aware of fairness issues. The people that we're going to help and that we're going to engage with, they have been dealing for a long, long time, for some of them, with things not being quite fair. Their belief, by the way, is that even if you can help me a little bit, you probably can't equal the scales up for me this moment. But when things happen in that kind of environment that seem radically unfair or even gently unfair, it can really set someone off. And so we want to encourage people. Let me give you an example. If you happen to see that there's a line for some particular service, and by the way, we're working very hard to make sure that there are very few lines for services, because there's so many services to take advantage of. But if you find there's a line for some services, your friend, your guest that you're helping may say, oh my goodness, look at that line. I'm never going to be able to get the things I want to. I want to get over here and get something else. You could say to them, listen, why don't I stand in this line for you, and you go over there and get the thing that you want, and allow them to have some help through the process. Next, please don't lose sight of the environment that you're in. Remember, you're just meeting strangers and giving them a hand. This is a good way to do it, by the way. I mean, where else could you just meet strangers and truly, radically change their life? This is an incredible opportunity. So in doing that, I want you just to pay attention to your personal life. I want you to pay attention to your home information, your financial status, wisdom in sharing that information out. You know, as you are talking with someone, you just want to be wise in your communication. Again, you're going to meet and be overwhelmed by the joy, love, care, compassion of the people that live in our city who don't have a place to stay or who are in need. You'll be amazed at how they'll take care of you. But we want to give you wisdom as you're doing that to allow for normal relationships to build. As you're doing things, as you're helping people, we want you to err on the side of kindness. One of the things that can happen, and we're going to talk in a minute about how we're going to gather even gathering the information that we need to help them, that people have been dealt with in a top-down way from their perspective for a long time. So we're going to tilt the balance on this particular day and allow them to have a true cup of cold water. We're going to allow them to feel cared for, loved, and you're going to be part of that process. And to do that, you need to err on the side of kindness. You know, if you go to the Ritz-Carlton Hotel and you go into the elevator and your coat gets snagged in the elevator, the doorman that's inside the elevator has authorization to take care of that for you. He'll take your coat away from you, take it to a seamstress, get it fixed, get it to a tailor, get it taken care of. He has authorization to do that. You have authorization to treat people kindly and to help them on this day. We want to be responsible. In a few moments, you're going to hear about some ways that you can make some commitments and how you can get involved. We want you to be responsible. You commit to doing something, we expect you to be there. Don't say your dog ate the paper. Doesn't matter what could have happened to you that morning to make you late. It's unacceptable on this day. We have a lot to do. And we have one good shot at it. So we really want to make sure that we do everything we can to work out the details, to be where we need to be. I've come to this thing where I realize I have a problem constantly being late. And Sunday morning, when I do most of my work, I mean, when else does a pastor work? I have real issue with being late all the time. So I found that on Saturday night, I have to stop staying up late, using up every minute in life of energy. Because by the time Sunday morning comes, I'm like a drunken sailor, got no energy left. I want to encourage you on September 28th, on Monday night, clear your calendar. Do as little as you can. Don't argue with people. Go to bed happy, joyous, so that you can wake up the next day ready to get done with these meetings. Now, let me hold at this point and introduce you to Chris Abro. Chris's job is to answer every tough question that you have. You'll notice that you don't find Greg Dyson's email or phone number in here. So at 4 o'clock in the morning when you have a question, no, don't call Chris. But I'm really thankful that God has given us Chris. She coordinates our volunteers. From the first year to this year, she's helped grow us in some great ways. She's going to tell you some of the details that you need to make this day a great success.
Thank you. I just want to thank all of you who are here who are volunteering. As Greg said, I've been with Project Homeless Connect for all 3 years, and we started out with 130 maybe the first year, and have grown to the point where we're looking for 700 volunteers this year. So our volunteers are coming from many different places, churches, businesses. We're working with a lot of local colleges this year, which is something new that we're doing. So we're excited to see how it's grown and how it has expanded. I want to encourage you that it really has happened because of the fact that the people who have volunteered before have told their friends about how amazing this day is. And so they pass the word on, and we ask you to do the same thing. So make sure if you're at a church or an organization or a business that there's a flyer posted somewhere, that there's information on the church bulletin or website, so that we can just continue to grow our volunteer team that we want to have for 29th of September. I just have a few comments to make. I do a little bit more of the practical side of business. Greg gets all the fun. I get all the practical information. One of the points was not to bring anything with you, and I just can't emphasize how important that really is. That means that that day I would encourage you to have some type of ID and your keys to your car if you're driving, and that's it. You don't need anything else. Ladies, don't bring a purse. You won't have anywhere to put it down. You'll be doing so much there. It's such a busy, high-energy place. It's very difficult for you to keep track of anything. So please, just keep it very minimal. There is parking there. We encourage you to park in the parking garage across the street. It's on Falcons Way. Falcons Way. The 3-story, 4-story parking garage. Parking costs $5, and you're responsible for your own parking, so be prepared for that. Do not park in the parking lot across the street from Mass Mutual. We've had problems there. Your car will be towed, or you'll be charged not $5. So much more. So please just park in the parking garage. You can carpool with some friends and keep it simple. I want to give you an idea of what the day in the morning kind of looks like. When you get to Mass Mutual Center, we ask the volunteers to be there at 7:30. The volunteers are set up into teams. So our goal this year is to have 28 team leaders, and each team have 25 people on the team. So if you're interested in being a team leader works to build up their team, and then is basically the point person for the 25 people that are on the team. If you're interested in being a team leader, then you can come and talk to me, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about that. Basically, most of the volunteers are there to be host advocates for the day, and that's what we're really looking for. People who will connect one-on-one. So basically, when the client walks in the door, we're connecting you, as Greg described, with the whole backpack scenario. You'll connect with one person, and then you'll be there to be that host to help them through what really is a big maze of services that are there. Now, when you come at 7:30, you will find your team leader, and you'll know who that is before you get there. And then when you check in with your team leader, as Greg said, you'll be given a t-shirt, you'll be given a backpack, you'll be given a map, which will be beautifully color-coded, right, with all of the services, so you can have an idea of where everything is. You can look at it before everyone comes.